back with my second update today because today was probably the best day of feeds of the season. A lot went down, and I guess we need to talk about it because I won't be updating tomorrow. The Super Bowl's tomorrow. I ain't updating anything, but I do need to talk about today because it has been a bit of a mess. I'm also still recording this before noms, and I don't know when noms are. I think there's an episode on Sunday night, so we would think it'd be tonight because they need to include that in the episode, but who knows? Guess they're going to be doing a lot of last minute editing because it's been a wild day. I talked about this morning how I felt like somehow Shayna and Todrick were going to get to the end both playing these snaky, grimy games. But today, Todrick decided to turn the whole house against Shayna. And I've talked about a lot already how Carson's head isn't really in the game. He's a very socialist to that, but strategically not so much. And Cynthia's head is also not that much in the game. So those two as a duo they're social threats maybe, but not strategic threats. So it seemed kind of easy for Todrick and later Misha to turn those two against Shayna. But I have to say that Shayna brought this on herself. I have been saying since one of the first couple days of feats, I said on the first day that it looked like Shayna was playing this great game in the middle. But she ruined that on her very first vote when she did go to Misha's side with Chris Kirkpatrick. And she voted out Teddy even though she was supposed to be in that alliance. And yeah, she had the excuse that it would have just been a tie and Misha would have broke the tie and Teddy still would have left. But if you want to gain trust in this game, that's probably not the way to go about it. Now, I also want to say about Shayna, she has gone back and forth between two sides and talked shit about each side. So it's going to be I don't feel sorry for her at all, and I will get to more of that. But Twitter is, of course, being Twitter, feeling sorry for Shayna, even though she brought this on herself. Nothing makes me roll my eyes more than fucking Twitter, but here we are. Shayna's downfall is because of Shayna. This is usually the case. When someone has a downfall or is exposed like Shayna was today, they brought it on themselves. And yes, Shayna did bring information back to Carson at times. But also, let's not act like Shayna and Cynthia are close. Shayna was saying just a while back that Cynthia can go because she's not going to win challenges, which might be true. But I don't think Shayna grasps that you just can't play both sides and it not eventually come out. Like, sometimes people have been able to play all sides and it doesn't come out. But I don't really know. I don't think Shayna's been able to accomplish that. It's also very easy in these games to have an us versus them mentality. And we've seen players in this season try to force a split in the house like Chris Kirkpatrick. That didn't quite work. There's been little groups here and there, but there's never been really two sides against each other. It's been kind of forced. And that's why Shayna was able to try to play the middle, but she did a very sloppy job this entire time. And I've been calling her out on it for many videos now. So I don't know why you all are shedding tears for Shayna. She brought this on herself. And furthermore, I know I got comments in the last video today from Ray Rush and Boo Boo, who I always appreciate watching my videos, but I can't feel sorry for Shayna just because she's like kind of public enemy number one in the house when Mariah was public enemy number one in the house and she was basically shunned from everybody else. Fucking Shayna kept saying, oh, Mariah's unwell. She shouldn't have been casted in the first place. So clearly, Shayna didn't feel sorry for Mariah being kind of outcasted. So why should we feel sorry for Shayna being outcasted? I feel like Shayna calling Mariah unwell was messed up for sure. Just because Mariah did feel secluded and she was the youngest and she was the only Asian, she had her reasons to feel the way she felt. So Shayna, I feel nothing for Shayna. I'm glad she's in this position. I'm glad she was exposed. She deserved it. She played a sloppy middle rat game, and the snake, Todrick being the snake, ate the rat in this round, it seems like. Now, I don't know who Carson is actually going to nom. I haven't watched the last couple hours of feeds. I just watched it a lot this afternoon when it was all going wild. But there was a funny point where Todrick putting in all of this work to get Misha, the target off of Misha's back by bringing all this information to Cynthia and Carson. But then Misha volunteers Todrick on the block and being like, oh, one of us could win and we could backdoor Shayna, even though there's only one person not playing Beto this round. So what are the odds that Shayna doesn't get picked? I mean, who knows? Maybe there are higher odds, but only one person is not playing Beto this week. So I did find it funny. After Todrick's putting in all of this work, Misha volunteers him on the block so that one of them can hopefully win the Beto and they could backdoor Shayna, which could inadvertently get one of them voted out if Shayna were to win Beto. Do I think Shayna will win Beto again? I don't know, maybe. It would bring more entertainment. I don't want Shayna to win, but I don't know if I want her out yet. So in reality, I feel like Todrick and Misha, yes, they saved themselves, but they also saved Todd. Because if Misha wasn't going home this week, it was probably going to be Todd, because that was going to be Carson's original nominations. And through all of this, Lamar continues to position himself well, because if Shayna does go this week, it's actually Lamar who's in the middle, because, we have, who's all left? Well, kind of in the middle. One side still has more people, though, and he's close to Todd, but it would be Misha, Todrick, Todd, and then Cynthia and Carson, and then Lamar just kind of doesn't commit to anything too strongly. And like I said in today's video, he has a good look at the board. So, yeah. I mostly wanted to make this video to continue to say that Shayna brought this all on herself. She also just got her number one, Kirkpatrick, voted out this past round by using the Beto and him going up. And she was forced to vote out her number one. I don't think you could get rid of your number one this early in a game and expect your game to not fall apart. So she messed up there too. She's just a really sloppy player. And more so, I didn't like her. I mentioned in the video when it happened, I think, that I didn't like her talking shit about Mariah, who was secluded and isolated from the rest of the group. So why should I feel sorry for Shayna? If she had a lot of shit to talk about Mariah and how she's unwell and shouldn't have been casted, even though Mariah was feeling some type of way because she was secluded, save the tears for Shayna. Nah.